Greetings upon greetings, and welcome to First Play, brought to you by the home of Afro House Drums Radio. I'm your host, Dave Rankin, and it is a pleasure to be here on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon here in Toronto, Canada. Don't mind the alarm blaring in the background, please. Something I really can do about it. My apartment complex got a whole bunch of things going on. They decided to go ahead and test their alarms today of all days. Here in First Play, it's all about the latest releases, the hottest releases here in the Afro House genre, and the hit makers behind them. And this week, we have a special guest. He's my roster mate here on Drums Radio. You can catch his set. I believe it is every Monday. Don't quote me on that, please. Damn, I'm so sorry if I don't remember the schedule. However, though, fresh off of his 2-track EP from the Ibiza-based label tSudam Records. He's what they call the Beijinger, better known to the world as Cisco Del Sol.
Yo.
Greetings, my brother.
Greetings, brother. How are you?
I'm very well, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to go ahead and do this with us. We are so appreciative you can go ahead and do that.
I'm happy to be here, brother.
Thank you.
His family.
You already know, man. You already know. Man, let's go and talk everything. We're talking everything regarding your EP today, Arenaya. Right? Let's start right at the beginning. How did you come up with the name for the EP?
Okay, Arenaya EP, how I came up with the name, it's a very special name. It's a name that means peace, love, and light. So reason why I titled the EP Arenaya is because I draw my inspiration for creating a project or an EP out of traveling and music, the culture, you know what I mean? So when I worked on that EP, I was literally on the go. I was traveling and I draw my inspiration from when I get to an island and then I get inspired by the culture, different people that I get to meet. That's how I literally tend to get inspired and turn something to a project and get to name an EP based on that.
Whereabouts were you traveling to or from when I said when you came up with this name?
When I was I was in Ibiza when I was traveling, literally.
All right.
I was in the island. Yeah. I was in the island and I was just inspired, man. You know, the sunset, the sunrise, the people, the music, the good life, the food, everything. Literally, just the atmosphere.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, what type of influences, I guess, the Ibiza sound, the Ibiza culture had in regards to making the EP?
I beg your pardon?
What type of influences of the culture, of the people, of everything that you witnessed while you were there in Ibiza that went into this?
Yeah. Man, it's so crazy how I came about this EP and how it was influenced. It's how people in the island tend to connect through music. Music is sort of like a universal language in the island in Ibiza. Everyone is just a happy soul. Everyone is just in the mood. Everyone just wants to connect. Everyone just wants to meet someone and get to know someone in the spirit of music. So that's how I got influenced in the Ibiza island, literally.
Amazing. Me personally, I haven't been to Ibiza yet. It is on one of my places that, of course, my I guess you want to call it my bucket list, right? That I have to go ahead and visit. But I keep on hearing wonderful things, especially the sunset. I hear they have amazing sunsets there.
Definitely, it's one island that you need to touch down and literally experience on your own. You know, it's a different perspective or it's a different scenario when someone is explaining it to you, but once you touch down and literally touch down on the ground and you feel it, you can literally feel it, the ambience, the atmosphere, that okay, this is literally the island that everyone's been talking about, Ibiza, you know what I mean? So yeah.
I hear that. All right, so my next question comes to you is this: why a 2-track EP? Of course we have, you know what, you can always round up more. I mean, some DJ producers go 3 songs, 4 songs, but why a 2-track EP?
2-track EP. When I worked on that EP, I really didn't give too much of I didn't really want to give too much of myself into that project. I'm more of a guy who comes with teasers, just make sure
Mm,
that I have 2 tracks on the EPs that are bangers, just to
mm.
want you to keep you want you like literally want more of me, literally. So I like dropping my EPs in bits and pieces, like two tracks, 3 tracks, not like an entirely half of a album project. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like a teaser that, hey, have you heard about me? Let me give you 2 tracks of mine, literally, so you can get a sense of my taste of literally the style that I make. And yeah, that's how I usually drop my EPs.
Okay, beautiful. That's interesting to hear. Because of course, myself, I'm coming from, of course, a different background in regards to the hip hop and the R&B world, where EPs are more 5 songs, 6 songs, and and the artists, they themselves say, yeah, we're doing teasers in that regards. But to come to this side of the world and say, to hear a 2-track EP, right, which is a little more common in the genre, right, it
Yeah,
makes sense in regards to why, of course, artists will want to go ahead and select or choose this as an approach, right?
for
My
sure.
next question to you is this. Now that since you've had the cultural Ibiza influence that went into the title track Arenaya, right? Now in making the 2 songs, did you find your process was just a little bit different, say now from your other EPs, like the Beijing one, or for instance Omhala?
Yeah, definitely. I'll say my Arenaya EP compared to the Beijing EP is totally different. The sound has changed. Reason being, it's because, like I said, I draw my music inspiration based on my traveling. So when I created the Beijing EP, it was created out of the influence of like I said, the culture, the music, me getting to meet the people, you know what I mean? So when I created this EP in Ibiza, it is it is sort of like a sound that I heard in Ibiza that I picked up, and I wanted to fuse it in with my authentic sound to try and accommodate the people of the European market, and at the same time not losing who I really am.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Interesting that you say that, because as I was listening back to the songs for the past week, right, I'm hearing, of course, like it's almost like this the European style, where like a trance, almost sort of like where it really leaves people in a daze, but you can hear these of course these wonderful elements that are sprinkled throughout the rest of the song. Right, there's this one part in the song
yeah,
where you take out the kick drums and you just let the melody just flow and it rides for a little bit, right? And then there's this accent, this snare accent that kicks in, right? It was just like, wow, like a really, really amazing in regards to how that snare accent kicks in. Now, well, for me, in regards to like the way I love to analyze rhythms, right? For you as a creative genius over there, how long did it for you to go ahead and say, yes, you know what? I really like that part. This really kicks in for me. This is it.
yeah.
Could you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. When I create my music, when I get into studio and get to create my music and arrange my music, I sort of want to tell a story through my music. So it has to be a journey. So if you listen to, like you say, if you listen to all my tracks and my EPs that I've released, they're sort of like a journey. So when my song starts, it starts with you and literally takes you on a journey. I don't just give you everything in a space of a minute. I take you through a journey. I want you to go through a process. I feel like my music is more of like a spiritual music, so you have to feel it in your spirit. It has
Mm,
to uplift your spirit, to take you on a journey. Eight
mm,
minutes of journey in that track, literally. That's how I tend to create my music. I don't
mm.
just want to just give you everything at one go. I just want to take you through a journey. You know what I mean? At
Right.
first, you start hearing the strings, automation of the strings, the synthesizers, the congas, the drums. Maybe at the bridge of 4 minutes, that's when you start hearing this chants and start hearing this climax and everything. That's how I tend to create this journey literally through my music.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And on the 2-track EP, so on the B side, Koala, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Koala is the next one.
Yeah, cool. The crazy story about that title is I Kuala is actually a city in Malaysia. It's one of the best cities I've been at during one of my tours. So I've always been inspired how the people literally receive my sound in Kuala, Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's actually a city in Malaysia. So it's one of my highlighted cities that I've traveled to. So when I created the EP in Ibiza, I was like, how about I tell a story as much as I created this EP based on Ibiza, but Kuala is sort of like another home for me because of the reception, how people literally receive me. So that's how I went about titling the song Kuala.
Amazing, amazing to hear. You know, in that song,
Yeah.
I'm noticing that the bass line, there's like almost like a pitch bend in the bass line, almost like it's like a little
Yeah.
warp in there as well. Like when you were constructing the rhythm, was that now like was this purpose, or was it like you just say, you know what, I'm messing around with sounds and until it sticked?
Actually, it was done purposely. It was done purposely. Um, there's like a bass line. I think it's the one that you're talking about. It's sort of like pitch bend and it's got like automation.
Right.
It's actually an instrument or an element that I added right after when I was done with the song. And I was like, nah, you know what? I just want to put that one thing that someone can literally relate to and be like, wow, this is, I love that bass. There's something different about that bass. So when I completed the song, I just wanted to have that one thing that's gonna stand out and people get to be like, the bass line, how did you get to do that bass line? So now that you're saying it and you actually picked it up, I'm like, oh wow, it worked, it worked. So people are actually realizing that it was done deliberately, you know what I mean?
For real, for real. You because
Yeah,
again, like for me over here, like as a DJ, of course, you know what? I've never been in, in the studio production wise. I mean, mind you, I've been in sessions. However, though, like I love
yeah,
listening to like how things are being constructed. And if I can pick something out that really stands out for me, I'm sure that of course our audiences out there are going to go ahead and do the same thing, right?
yeah,
For sure.
definitely,
For sure.
definitely.
So, you've had tracks released on like tons of like wonderful labels out there, from Afrocentric, from of course Ultra Zanzi, which is coming up, DM Records, just to name a few. What was it that attracted you to tSudam?
I beg your pardon?
What was it that attracted you to the busy label of tSudam Recording?
Oh, okay. Um, okay, so the label founder, DJ Kinta of Sudem Records, is a guy that I have been talking to for quite some time, and I've always um we've always had a chat about having like possible releases, me having to release through Sudem Music. So he's always been like, hey, send me a couple of tracks, send me a couple of tracks. I love your sound, it's beautiful. So maybe one day we can literally release some of your tracks through Sudem. I was like, yeah, cool. I literally love Sudem Records because it's sort of like stands out. It's a record label that stands out. They've got this theme. I don't know how I can put it. They've got like this theme when it comes to releasing their songs. It's got a certain sound. So
Mm.
at that time when I was working on an EP, it sounded very, Ibiza influence. And then I was like, wow, I think I've finally got the EP that I can literally release through Sudam Music. And then I had a chat with Kintar and then I sent him through the stuff and then he loved it. He was like, wow, I love this, man. Let's release this under Sudam Music.
Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So you when
Yeah.
you said you when everything was completed and you reached out to him, like there's no other label whatsoever that you guys have said, maybe they can go ahead and actually use the sound. It was just straight Sudan right off the bat, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was straight to them. Right after I had mixed the song and then I played the songs over and over again, I was like, you know what? There's no any other like I literally had no any other label in mind but Sudem Records, literally.
Mm.
When you create a song sometimes, I've created EPs sometimes where I just create an EP without an idea or who I literally want to have as a record label to release or an option, literally. But when I created Arenaya EP, I already knew that, you know what, this is literally the EP that has to come out through tSudam Records. So when I completed the EP, I was like, this is tSudam, no one else.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you know what? And it's a targeted strategy. Wonderful to hear that you, of course, such as just yourself, that you're able to go to do something like this. I find that sometimes with artists, they pretty much cast their net, right? And see who takes it on. But you right off the jump, you said, listen, it's gotta be you guys, right? And it's worked out so far, right? Since the
Yeah.
song has been released, right? What's the response that you've been received so far in regards to, of course, the two-track EP?
Hey man, to be honest, the reception has been crazy. Like I think I dropped the EP on Friday last week as an
Mhm.
exclusive on Beatport. So it's only been 4 or 5 days old, and the reception is crazy. I'm getting DMs. People are just loving it. They're like, "Hey man, this is a great release under certain records." And shout out to Dark Side Vinyl. He was one of the guys that literally DM'd me. My team was like, "Hey man, I love your new EP with tSudam Records. Can we work on something?"
Beautiful.
And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we got something that's coming on the way. Dark
All
Side
right.
Vinyl as well. So we're working on something as well. Yeah, pretty soon.
Well, you know what? As soon as that thing comes out with you and Dark Side, please, you gotta let us know over here at First Play. We'd love to go ahead and feature the sure.
Definitely, Drums Radio is family.
All right, that's for sure. My friend, you know what? As I always think and I always say, you know what, good music deserves to be heard, right around the world, right? We want to thank, of course, tSudam Records Award and picking up the EP and realizing your talent and your worth. That's for sure. Before we go ahead and wrap things up here in the interview, I want you to go ahead and tell the people, number one, where they can go ahead and find you, right? And also where they can go ahead and find the single, the EP, the tracks.
Okay. My new EP. Hey guys, another intro again. This is Cisco Del Sol, aka the Beijinger. You can find me on socials, Instagram at Cisco Del Sol, all in one word, Twitter at Cisco Del Sol, all in one word, and Facebook Cisco Del Sol DJ. Now my EP, Arenaya EP, is finally out. It's an EP that I worked on last year. I've been longing for this day or for this time to actually drop this EP, and it's finally happening. It's out through tSudam Records in Ibiza, record label based. It's out on Beatport as an exclusive. Go get it. And it's dropping on the 6th of March on all online music outlets. So go out and get it and check out all the tSudam music pages on Instagram for more info. But the EP is out right now on Beatport as an exclusive. Go get it. Everyone is going crazy about it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know what? Before we go and wrap things up, I believe that we do have a picture of the jacket sleeve. I'm hoping we can go ahead and throw it up. I think the producer is listening in right now. Maybe she can go ahead and throw it up. But as she does that, also you gotta let the people know when they can go ahead and hear your show here on Drums Radio as well.
Yeah. You can tune into my radio show on Drums Radio, the Beijinger show every Mondays. That's 12 p.m. cat. Yeah, every Mondays 12 p.m. cat from 12 p.m. till 2 p.m.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looks like we may not have enough time for her to go and throw up the picture of the jacket sleeve. However, though, by means, we already know, of course, where they can go ahead and find you, my friend. And also, regarding the track, if anybody out there who is listening right now, you can jump online to Spotify, to Drums Radio Spotify. We have a first play definitely there for you. We have created a perfect playlist, and we have also included this song there as well. So by means, we got you covered in regards to the greatest, and wonderful tracks and releases that we have featured here on Drums Radio. My man, before we go ahead and get out of here, I just want to say thank you once again for joining us here. Keep doing what you're doing over there. Trust me. You know what? Again, talent, hard work, perseverance, everything will be recognized. And like we've done it today, it must be featured. So thank you once again for going ahead and taking the time out of your busy day.
Thank you very much for having me, brother. I feel blessed, and yeah, it's an honor to be here, bro.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have here at First Play. I am your host, Dave Rankin, signing off. Peace.
We out.